Hi. Today really got me thinking. Got me thinking about a couple of words that I feel like are very powerful. Very powerful to say them and very powerful to hear them. So powerful that you sometimes just get like this, I can't stand those words inside of you when you have to say it, and then you just have this like very, you don't want to say it when you have to say it. My name is Mark Anthony DeBose Jr., and I was born July 4th of 1986. And today I want to talk about some words that are very, very powerful to us as human beings on this planet. And those words are, I told you so. You know how hard it is to be on the receiving end of hearing some words like that from somebody? Where you just have this like, I know you said that. I know what you meant by it. I know what was going down. And I know the situation I ended up in based on what you said what you said was gonna happen to me. And it's a very, very interesting situation here because it's so challenging. I feel like it's harder to say it than it is to hear it. Because for the person that has to say to somebody, I told you so, because they already foresaw the future. They already seen it. They already knew it was gonna happen. You know why? You know why it's such a powerful word? Because the people that are on the receiving end of it just think that they know better, that they know what's best, that they know a new way, they know a magical thing, they know something that you just don't know, you've never understood, you've never been a part of, that they're gonna create something new, they're gonna manifest something just awesome, and whatever it is they're gonna be the one. And I feel like I'm here to say that you're more likely of all more likelies, not going to be the one that's going to do something different from when it is the person said that, I told you so. And we don't want to have to say that to you. We don't want to have to say, I told you so, when it comes down to a situation of watching you put yourself in a super damaging situation, a super damaging position that we can see exactly what's going to happen to you if you keep on going down that route. For instance, if you decide I want to start drinking as a teenage boy, you're just like, I'm just going to drink and I'll be fine because I'll be able to quit when I want to quit. Then the parent is going to say to you, you should stop that. You shouldn't continue to do that because it's not going to be so easy for you to just stop once you get hooked on it, once you depend on it, once you have this need, once you have this desire for it. It's not going to be so easy to just say quit all of a sudden overnight. Okay, I'm done. And then it's going to come to a situation where you're going to end up growing from a teenager, growing to an adult, growing into your mid-40s and your mid-50s, and you're still drinking. You're drinking so heavy that now the doctor comes to you and says, you know what, sir? You got cirrhosis of the liver. You jammed up. You got a this and you got a that and you got a the surgery this and you got to quit and this has damaged your whole life. Where you're going to come to a time where your parent is going to look at you and say, son, I told you so. And that's so hard for a parent because they know what's going to happen based on the actions that you're doing, based on what's going on with you. And it's not only just with parents and parenting, but it's with friends, it's with siblings, it's with coworkers, it's with everyone around where you've seen that situation and you just don't want that person to go down that route. But yet that person just has it in them that they're like, no, I know it's best. How is it that we were able to communicate to those people to let them know? Because it's so hard to be on that side of giving those words to people because it's just so damaging for them. It truly is, because they know in the end when it comes to the point that when you gave them that information, where you're like, if you go back to that, if you go back to him, if you go back to her, this is going to happen because this is what you're doing, and this is why it's going to happen because you're not changing, and this is what's going on. And then you see that happen in the end in the person, and then you feel bad, you feel sorry, but at the same time you just like you can't say those words, I told you so, but that person is going to look at you and always know, yeah, you told me so. And it is so just defeating. It's such a defeating thing. And it's sometimes I feel like a lot of people get really, really irritated, really, really mad, really, really angry in the fact of like, how do you know? How do you know it's going to happen? And then for you to say, like, on the receiving side of it, you're just like, no, I know it because you've been through that, but I'm going to do it differently this time. But yet that person says, you know, I've been through every scenario already with that. So why don't you just listen to me? Why don't you just have a good understanding of knowing that I've seen this, I've been through this, to be able to just give you the insight of knowing that if you just keep doing that, I'm telling you, this right here is going to more than likely happen to you. Like on a 99.99% percentile that it is going to happen to you. It's not going to be something that's just, you're going to be able to get out of it on a 50-50. No, it's like I pretty much know exactly what's going to happen because you're just doing the same stuff, even though you're trying to say to your own self that you're not doing the same stuff, but I see that you're doing the same stuff. And it's just a very, very unfortunate circumstance for us to be in, because we never want to get to that point. We never want to get to that situation where we just have to see that person get extremely damaged, extremely destroyed, all the way beaten down, all the way just everything's stripped from them, everything taken from them, all their self-worth gone, and just to the point of just saying, I told you so. I told you it was going to lose all that. I told you it was going to go nowhere. I told you it wasn't going to come out good. I told you it was going to end up in absolute failure. But you just kept on going to it. And it's a very, very interesting situation because I feel like I know very well how that feels being on the side of receiving that, knowing that I was doing things that were super destructive and just kept on going to it. So I know what it's like to like say, not listen to that person's advice, not listen to that person's wisdom, not caring about it because I felt like I was the creator, I was the maker, I was the one that made this world, that was able to just put it forward, and I created all this, and I'm the one that's able to keep on making all this. That it's just a very sticky situation that I ran into. And then it came to a time of the day where I said, you know what, I need something more than me, because I can't be the one that made this, because I'm in it. If I made it, how am I in it? And if I made it, how come I'm not in it in a way that I'm absolutely just winning every single day and having everything that I want in every single second? So something in me said, yeah, Mark, I told you so. And that was, I feel like God in a way saying that to me when I started reading more and more of his book. When I started reading more and more of that Bible, I started to get a good understanding of knowing why certain things are in there and the way they should be in there and the way that it should always be represented in there, that there's no such thing as some new times and times of change and times that evolve. That no, the book is timeless. The book has been created from a beginning and an end. And it's very interesting because that book actually does have an end in it that I don't think a lot of people actually really realize, that it's actually written in such a way. I feel like people look at it just piecing this, piecing that, piecing this. Thou shalt this and thou shalt that and thou shalt this, and just going through it like that, and just having this whole like just huffy puff about what it is that you can't do and what it is that you should be doing. And I want to tell you, God has all that in there because he says he knows what's best. He already has the whole thing figured out. He already has it all created. He already has the whole master plan dialed in to know what is going to work for us and what is not going to work for us. He's already had all the tests and the tribulations and the trials to figure out what's going to be the best for us. And he's already got it figured out. And when you're the one that decides, you know what, I'm going to go out there and I'm just going to sleep with a whole bunch of men just because I know it's best. I know what I do. I know how to do it. I know how to be the best in relationships. I know how to get everything done without going by the guidelines of what that Bible is stating. It's like in the end, you come to a time of the day where you just look at yourself and you're just like, man. And it's like, I know. And you say it to yourself, you told me so. You did tell me so. You did tell me if I was going to do this, and if I kept doing this, and if I kept doing this, that I would end up here. Like that Bible is a guideline to life, people. I don't know if you have a real good understanding of it. That's exactly what it is, and that's exactly what it's all about. And as for some reason, something in me is saying that more and more people should just start reading a little bit more about it, getting a little bit more understanding about it. Stop listening to some stories that someone else has to tell you about it. Stop listening to what someone has to say on the outside that doesn't agree with your value set, that doesn't agree with your mindset, that doesn't agree with what you want to do, giving you the information about what that book actually states and what that book is actually all about. It's something for all of us to be able to take initiative to start to study it, to start to understand it, to start to learn it, to start to know it, to start to memorize it, to start to really have a good understanding about it for our own selves, not from what someone else's opinion has to be about a Bible verse. Because I'm going to tell you, I'm going to say it again, something that I think is just absolutely amazing is the simple fact that every time you read that book, every time you're going to see something and hear something and understand something completely different. You're never going to read the same passage day after day after day after day and have the exact same meaning in it. And I believe that that's something for me that just gives me 100% proof that something absolutely incredible wrote that. It's not a human being that did that, because you can read a passage one day today and 20 years from now and have something that means completely different from that exact same thing. And it's for us to sit there and read it, for us to get a good understanding about it, to be able to figure out what it is that it's meaning for us. And I'm telling you, it's got a lot in there to explain to us about what it is that we should be doing, what it is that we shouldn't be doing, what it is that we should try our best, the absolute best, to stay away from, and things that we should just keep on pursuing so hard and just go head first into it. And it puts you in a situation sometimes when you're doing some things and you just kind of look around. You just like one day, you just say, I'm fed up. And you just like look around and you're just like, I just don't understand why my life is the way it is. Mario, where are you going, man? Get down. I'm just fed up with the way everything is going with my life. I'm just fed up with the way everything is always around me. I just don't get why everything with me is just never working right and never going smooth, and it's always challenging and always just pushing my buttons, and I'm just never getting what it is I feel like I should be getting. And I'm going to say, should read that Bible. You should get a good understanding of it, because you're really going to start to get into the mindset and seeing the things of I told you so. And those things of I told you so is everything for all of us to just obviously and easily be able to see and be able to read, be able to comprehend, and be able to have a real good understanding on by just reading it and knowing it for ourselves instead of listening to what somebody else has to say. And the best thing on this planet is to be able to have God tell you, I told you so, instead of having another human being next to you say, I told you so, because for some reason we just don't listen to him. We just don't pay attention. When he says, don't give in to drunkenness, don't be slandering, don't be envious, don't be jealous. When he says all that, you don't listen to another human being that says that. And so we have to listen to something that is just absolutely greater and just has some information in a book that is just easy for us to be able to understand, easy for us to be able to study, so we can study it on our own, not having to listen to what another person has to say, to really just get you dialed in on what it is that you should be doing and what you should be focusing on this planet. So I feel like those words, "I told you so," are very, very powerful. And they're so powerful that today, I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to the absolute abundance that I feel like just continue to keep coming to me. That I work so hard. I stay dedicated so much. I stay really, really focused. I really try to gain and get better at what it is that I do. And today I'm just so thankful for what it is that just continues to keep happening to me. That I'm telling you, people, I'm telling you, there's going to be a day that I'll explain more of what I feel like I just keep on seeing that is just proof to me that you got to have your own, proof. You got to have your own understanding. You got to have your own ways of having communication with God to figure out what is going to happen next and what's going to go on with you next. But for me, I just have proof to me on things that just get set up, things that get lined up, people that I keep on meeting, situations that I run into, and stuff that happens to me when I just let go. I just said, "God, you got this, right?" I say it straight just like that. I'm not like, "Please help me, please do it." No, I'm like, "You got it. You said you got it. You promised me you got it. So let's go ahead and get this going." And I'm just so thankful for the situation that I'm in to be able to continue to keep helping more and more people. Because there's some people on this planet that need a whole lot of help. And I feel like I'm a person to be able to do such a thing because my energy is an energy that is just it's not for one. It's not for myself. It's for a lot of people. You could do a lot of really, really ruthless, damaging things to me, but yet I just still keep going. I just still keep chugging along, still keep getting it done. And something to me is just lets me know that that's what I'm supposed to be doing, that I should be focusing and dialing that in more and more and helping more and more people, regardless of how you're doing and how you're feeling, that you're never going to be able to bring me down to a point that I'm not going to be able to help anybody. And me, I just have to keep on pushing that out. And I'm just so thankful to be able to have a very, very good understanding of knowing that that's exactly what I'm about. That's exactly who I am. And that's exactly what I'm going to continue to keep on pursuing, because I feel like, I'm telling you, stuff just comes to me that there's no way, there's no possible way that I did it. I didn't do any works behind getting the things that come to me. I just prayed and I asked and I said, "You promised." And God said, "Yes, I promise you certain things, but I also have some things that I want you to do." Not that I have to work for him, but things that I have to work on myself. Make sure that I'm getting away from the jealousy. Make sure I'm getting away from anger. Make sure I'm getting away from slander. Make sure I'm getting away from jealousy. Make sure that I'm getting away from coveting. Make sure that I'm getting away from adultery. Make sure I'm getting away from all that stuff. Make sure I'm no longer stealing. Make sure I'm loving my mom. Make sure I love my daddy with all my heart. Making sure that I'm putting God above all other things and even my own self on this planet. And making sure that I am always putting time aside each week to make sure that I am giving to him, to make sure that I'm studying and learning and being more about him, to have a better and better understanding about who God is, what he represents. Like, there's just so much about things that I've been working on and been doing with myself that now I just feel like I sit back and I've been putting those seeds in the ground. I've been putting the seeds in, I've been putting it all around, and God said, "That's all you got to do, man. You put them seeds in and I'll start making it work for you." And then one day I'm going to start pruning it up a little bit, and it's just going to be an overabundance. And the overabundance, I'm telling you, is coming. And that's when, in reality, I'll start sharing, I'll start talking a little bit more about, I'll say these hidden things that I feel like I have going on around in my life that it's not ready yet, because I'm still testing, I'm still challenging, I'm still watering. I'm still watching these seeds do what they do. In reality, I don't need to water. I'm still putting more seeds. You know, I was happy with the few, but now I'm just putting more down, because I'm just like, I'm really trying to dial this in. I'm just so thankful to be able to be in a position to be able to continue to keep on doing this. And with that, I just am so excited with what it is that I keep doing. And I want more and more people to be able to have that, because no one on this planet could have said, "I told you so." There's so many things that I've done that I know my parents, I know especially my dad. He just looks at me, he's like, "Anthony, you know, you did that, you ended up in that, now you're here." And he could say, "Anthony, I told you so," but he doesn't. He just looks at me and he gives me that. I know he's thinking it, but he just gives me that, you know, you're gonna do it. But that I've done so much like that, and it's nowhere near as powerful, I'm going to say, as when I look at and read about my own self and my own life, to be able to get a good understanding of knowing what it is that I need to work on when God is telling me, "I told you so." And I'm just like, man, I know, I hear you. I got to work on that. I got to get past that. And I'm just so blessed to be able to have what I have, and I'm so blessed to be able to continue to keep doing what I'm doing and being able to stay motivated and dedicated with what I'm doing without having any sort of hiccup. Where today I was running on a very, very time crunch today. Somehow, some way, this is the power of God, I'm going to say, I still have enough time. He's given me enough time to be able to make sure that I can continue to keep on doing this and stay out here and do what it is that I need to do. He gave me enough time. He made everything line up just absolute perfectly to make sure that I can still have it. I mean, I don't know, people. I'm just so excited, and I just want to give thanks to God, knowing that he told me so. And he told me that if I would keep doing this or that I would end up in this or that. And he told me if I would continue to keep on putting my seeds into him, putting my seeds into understanding him, putting my seeds into spreading him more, spreading his message more. He told me, he promised me that things will start growing and manifest absolutely amazing. He told me that things would start exponentially growing. He told me that if I stay extremely dedicated, that things would just keep on cruising and cruising to the point that I'm not even going to be able to keep up with it. That I'm going to have to bring in this and bring in that and move this and maneuver that to be able to keep doing what it is that I'm doing. And I'm just so thankful for that. I'm so excited for that. And I hope that you are able to have a good understanding of knowing how powerful those words are. I told you so. And try to your best to listen to what people have to say, because I'm telling you, they've been through it. They've done it. And I'm going to tell you, if you keep on doing things that are just rejecting and neglecting the Bible, I'm going to say, I'm telling you so, that you're going to live a very, very struggling life. You're going to live a life of absolute despair. You're going to be just hurting and not feeling as if you have any out and any way to go. And there's something in me that's just so strong to say, I told you so. Stop doing that stuff. Start doing something that God wants you to do, because he's really going to be able to help you out in such an absolute amazing way. If you don't do that, you're going to head to a level of just damnation in reality. That's the only way, the only community language I can use with that. That's where you're going to head if you don't accept God, if you don't accept Jesus in your heart. Like, that's where you're headed to, and that's what's going to happen. But if you decide to, I'm telling you, he's going to do something amazing for you. Thank you.